What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios. Back at it with another debate video. It's honestly great to be back from taking a small break, and what a way to start videos again with a new Godzilla, Godzilla Minus One. You know, I watched all the trailers, the TV spots, and my goodness, is it so similar to Shin Godzilla? Not the design, but the atmosphere of the film. You know, the film isn't out yet, and I thought it was appropriate to make a debate video because I think we have a decent picture of who this Godzilla is gonna be, and a lot of the focus you're gonna notice on this debate is gonna be with the title of the film. And I'll go more in depth with that, but the title is very unique. Minus one. To me, that seems as if it's suggesting less than even a percent of hope. And that is the atmosphere of Godzilla. But before we go even more in depth with this, here's the plan. We're gonna look at Godzilla Minus One, and then we're gonna take a look at one of the most other iconic figures of Godzilla, and that's Shin Godzilla, which was the previous live-action Godzilla from Toho, and both of these are some dark monsters. So let's go over Godzilla Minus One. So essentially, the basic idea is this. Godzilla Minus One is the newest Godzilla adaptation in Toho's post-war Japan, and Godzilla is the symbol and force of human evil and destruction lasting through a war-scarred nation. Now, as I said, the movie isn't out yet, and there is a basic synopsis, but we don't know enough to know every single detail. But I do think this one fact, minus one, as I said in the beginning, gives a lot of information. You know, the first clue is this is post-war Japan, so this is after so much death, trauma, and just destruction has hit Japan. And with that, I guess, context, combined with the title Minus One, where Godzilla is the pinnacle of human evil and destruction, where we have the average numbers 0, 1, 2, 3. Even with the 1% chance, we would say someone's hopeless. But not 0, but minus 1. It's ultimate death, it's destruction. There is no hope. And I think this would, in a sense, show the character of this Godzilla, the meaning of this Godzilla, and the things he's gonna do in the film. Now, what's interesting is he's a smaller Godzilla. Approximately, he's around 50.1 meters tall. So he is almost, if not half, of Shin Godzilla. So Shin Godzilla is way bigger, but you know, size matters, but abilities also matter too. So it's not just off of the size. But yeah, this is a smaller Godzilla, and it's a reference, right, to the original Godzilla from 1954. He was about the same size. So I think that was very interesting. We've been seeing really big Godzillas recently, so I think it was a fresh start to go to a smaller one. Now, again, we haven't seen the film to see every single ability. When we're doing debate videos post film release, these abilities will probably evolve and the list will get longer. But basically, the list is such: atomic breath, withstanding from nuclear bombs, and I'll explain each, so don't worry, combat, tail whip, and intelligence. So the first one is, we see in the trailer, he has the blue atomic breath. Now, I don't know if we're gonna get any special gimmick like Shin Godzilla, where he did those lasers, but from what I know, he has the atomic breath, and that is the most iconic ability from any Godzilla, right? It's the nuclear radiation where he charges up, and out of his mouth he shoots absolute death, is the best way I could describe it to you. And it just bursts everything into pieces. Now, the next one is withstanding from nuclear bombs. This comes from the trailer. If you're paying attention towards the end, there is a scene of Godzilla all bloodied up. He looks like he's kind of in flames, and my guess is he's hit with a nuclear bomb. I don't know if it's an oxygen destroyer. I doubt it's going to be an oxygen destroyer in this film, but my best guess is an atom bomb. And it seems like he's surviving it, and which he would. I mean, he is nuclear, but the impact also is a big factor, meaning this Godzilla is very tolerant to large impacts hitting him, which is going to play a big role in this debate as well. But essentially, he could survive an attack from a nuclear bomb or an atom bomb, whichever you want to say. Now, combat, I think this one's a given one. Basically, almost all Godzillas, maybe except the American Godzilla, the 1998 Godzilla, is good in combat. I mean, we have the classic, and this goes in the next ability as well, we have the classic tail whip, claw, kick, bite. We could even say the spikes of the Godzilla can be used to an extent, right? For both defensive and offensive. And then intelligence. This is an interesting one that this was like the last second when I was preparing this video. I was thinking, do I have everything I need for the abilities as of now? And I thought I'm missing one, and it is this one, intelligence. In the trailer, you can see one of the characters say, Godzilla will never forgive us. And this could be a very interesting theory, but I'm not going to go in depth in that yet. That's for a different video. But what this does suggest is Godzilla has intelligence, right? The ability to forgive entails having a mind that comprehends what forgiveness is. Now, one may say I'm just going too overboard, it's just maybe like a metaphor saying, but I don't know. I think we could take it literally. Given the context of the film, I think this Godzilla is quite intelligent, given that context, so I added that as well. Now, aggression, it seems to me that he has high aggression. Territorial, I wasn't too sure, so we're going to leave that at medium, and Biome is going to just be Earth, as he is an Earth creature. So essentially, that's going to be Godzilla Minus One. Now, Shin Godzilla. Now, we all know who this lovely character is, but we'll go over him. Shin Godzilla was created from a nuclear waste in the Pacific Ocean. Starting as a eel-like creature, the radiation completely transformed its composition of the DNA and defied all evolutionary traits. In pain and agony, this creature can now evolve in mere seconds, where it would take a regular creature millions of years. Oh yeah. I mean, the forms this guy has is insane. He has 4 forms. And as we said, Shin Godzilla is way bigger. He stands at approximately 118.5 meters tall. Now, the abilities are, my goodness gracious, they are insane. So, the first is the atomic laser. Notice we didn't say atomic breath. Shin Godzilla has a laser. It's a purple laser. It just cuts through everything, literally like a laser. And it is nuclear pulsed, just like an atomic breath is, but this is way more focused, way more hot, way more faster. And the same laser that he has in his mouth is all over his body, literally on his dorsal plates. He has the body lasers. So imagine from the mouth and all from the body, from the back of the body at least, and the tail, but we'll get there. Now, his body, if you've seen Shin Godzilla, is very crumbled up and very thick, like a very thick skin. So, I would identify that as body armored skin. And we saw in the film, basically nothing was able to penetrate Godzilla's skin, except for the one time the F1 bomber threw a bomb on the back of his dorsal plate. That's where he had a weak spot, where his skin wasn't so thick. But everything else is, it's pretty thick, so it's really hard to penetrate it. And he has a second face, which is in the back of his tail. Even humanoids come out of it. It's disgusting. And that also has a laser. So he has a laser in his mouth, back of his tail, and all over the back of his body. And that face at the end essentially has its own brain, right? So I guess you can see he has two brains. He can evolve, and that adapts with the circumstance, right? He evolves with the circumstance, meaning if he needs to adapt to heat, he changes his form. Or if he needs more oxygen, he changes to adapt to that oxygen level. So that's incredibly powerful. He has the powerful tail whip, and he has a recreation ability where he can recreate whatever he is seeing. He saw humans, and in the film he was recreating human versions of himself. It's quite eerie. Now, Territorial is none, really. Aggression is low unless he's provoked, and Biome is essentially unlimited because he can evolve to fit in any biome. It is unlimited. Okay, so now we're going to do far range and close range, so we'll do far range first, where they're going to be, let's say, 700 meters apart. They can't come close to each other, and from that distance, who would be able to win? Well, just looking from the facts, Godzilla Minus One is going to only have the atomic breath, and Shin Godzilla is going to have the atomic laser, the body lasers, the tail laser. And just going off of the facts here, I'm going to assume that Godzilla Minus One's atomic breath is going to be your average Godzilla's atomic breath, where Shin Godzilla is going to have those lasers, and we could say their average strength too, but their volume is more. So with the atomic laser, the body armored laser, I think it's going to overpower and overheat Godzilla Minus One and potentially kill him. So that's one. Other than that, there's nothing to really talk about for far range. Now, speaking in... So that'll be 1-0 for Shin, but for close range it's interesting. Now, Shin Godzilla is 118.5 meters tall, and Godzilla Minus One is 50. So mere strength, that's bad for Godzilla Minus One. Shin Godzilla's brute force. Godzilla Minus One's half the size. He's not going to be able to keep up in face-to-face combat as well. Now, he does have tail whip and withstands from nuclear bombs, as in the pressure, we could take that. But Shin Godzilla is going to bombard him with the atomic lasers, with the body lasers. His skin is hard to penetrate. It's going to be hard for Godzilla Minus One to do any damage. He has that second laser coming out of nowhere from the tail. It's going to hit him when he's least suspecting it, and he can eventually recreate the same Godzilla Minus One to use against him. I think when we put it all together, guys, I think this is very clear that it's Shin Godzilla who's going to take this again, with size and body structure. I don't see any way how Godzilla Minus One is going to stand against this one, but maybe Legendary One will be interesting. But I think it's clear. I don't want to make this too short, but I think it's clear Shin Godzilla is the winner. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a great day.